Trigger warning. This video contains sensitive topics such as online sexual harassment, incest, and mentions of suicide. Do not witch hunt or harass any individual, even if you would like to. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everybody. My name's Taco, and today we'll be doing a dive into a seemingly normal channel on YouTube, going by the name of JC Studio SCP Foundation. But in this video, we're referring to him as simply JC, because it is easier for us to refer to him as such. This channel has acquired around of 2,000 actually subscribers over 5 years and 40,000 views. It is quite a substantial number to say the least because it is quite hard to maintain a YouTube channel. But below the surface, hidden under that facade of an innocent Roblox developer's channel, lies some very dark and heavy secrets. Secrets that many other people are still unaware of due to JC's constant attempts to cover his tracks to hide the truth, which normally any person with a dark past would do, sometimes. Not all usual. Now you may be wondering, obviously, who is JC and more importantly, what did he do to warrant a video to be made about him? All of these questions will be answered shortly, but we'll have to start by connecting the dots first to properly understand the connection between what JC is now and what he formerly was. Today, JC and his channel have zero connection to StickNodes, due to most of the content uploaded being Roblox videos. However, in some of JC's older shorts, videos uploaded during 2023, he left a link to a Discord server that he owned in the comment sections. But the invite no longer works, presumably because the server has been deleted, which is the only explanation we have as of now. But I'll explain why this information is relevant later. But now we know that he has a presence on Discord for years. Anyways, we fast forward to the present, and JC has just put up a community post on his channel and left a link to his Discord server. This time the invite works, surprisingly. There was nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. It looks like your typical run-of-the-mill Discord server dedicated to a Roblox game the owner is working on. But if you check JC's Discord profile, you can see that the Discord account he's using was made on April 18th, 2026, which is only about 2 months ago at the time of recording this video. His Discord server was made 2 days later on April 20th. It may not mean much, but given the context of the video you're watching, there must be a different reason as to why JC is using a fresh main account and owning a fresh server. And maybe this is the reason why we're making a video about him. And this is where StickNodes come in. Previously, JC used an animation app called StickNodes, which has a rather large community of its own. The StickNodes community main presence is on its own website, but many members of the community prefer to use Discord to communicate. These Discord servers about StickNodes then have smaller community revolving around some certain niches within the StickNodes. JC's niche in particular was that of the SCP Foundation franchise, and as a result, also the more tactical and military-oriented side of StickNodes community. Despite having a substantial following on his YouTube channel, JC didn't really have that much of a reputation on Discord and the larger StickNodes community as a whole. So for most of JC's time on Discord, he flew under the radar, up until the year 2024. One of the first instances of JC being a suspicious individual occurred during June of 2024, which he was 14 years old. He was a member of the Discord server owned by a notorious individual called Commander Animations, which we'll be getting shortly to explain, because this person was 9 years old at that time. So currently he is like 11 years old. Commander was not a particularly well-liked person, at least in the military-oriented side of the StickNodes community that he was a part of at the time. To summarize, not only is he a kid, just like I said before, but he sent death threats to people and threatened to dox them for not sending them any stick figures, as well as being an edgy racist. He was also someone that was just starting to be hooked on not safe for world content, which is very, very alarming for someone of his age. Case in point, he wanted a hentai bot to be added to his Discord server by a different member who was one of his server moderators at the time. Now, JC, through his interactions with Commander, what he did was something like pouring fuel on a fire. JC at that point was someone who was a bit deeper into degeneracy and overall addiction to not safe for world content. He talked about such topics now and then in Commander server, which soon escalated to JC doing something absolutely outrageous. And what is that? JC sent some of the server members, including the 9-year-old Commander, not safe for world content made in StickNodes, It's worth noting that all the people that JC sent stick notes not safe for content to were minors. Surprisingly, given the context of the things we're talking about here, JC was banned from Commander server shortly after this incident, and while he became someone to watch out for in the military community, in due to his actions and also the StickNodes community, not much ever became of it, as it seemed that he faded into obscurity to most members. But this is not where the story ends, as JC had another more serious incident that happened around September of 2024. Most of the proof that was shown during this segment will be from a video from another person made to expose JC. The link to it will be provided in the description if you want to check it out, and my advice you actually check it out. What happened was that JC interacted with a girl who was 13 at the time, and with zero hesitation, JC asked for pictures, even videos, of her doing explicit activities, which I will be not mentioning. JC was relentless about this, he didn't care about boundaries or anything of sort, he had one track in mind, wanting the girl to give him what he was asking for. He then was confronted by another person after a girl sent screenshots of JC harassing her and trying to get her to send him explicit content of herself. Now, a little tip in life, if something like this happened, I always recommend you try to see if you can sort it out with somebody else, somebody you trust, because this stuff right here that we're talking, it's not good. Obviously. However, JC shrugged the confrontation off and disregarded it completely. He didn't stop bothering the victim. Rather, he even decided to insult her for her nationality, which is a pretty low shot thing. Just because she didn't want to send explicit content of herself to JC and told all his actions to someone else. What he did was absolutely outrageous, obviously, but it doesn't stop there, as he made one last attempt to remain in contact with the victim. JC made an alternate account on Discord to be able to talk to the victim once again, under the pretense of supposedly wanting to ask her about something. Of course, the girl sees through the act right away and tells JC to stop. JC still insists that he was not JC and tells the victim that the real JC stabbed himself at her request. This is an obvious lie because she had never said anything about her wanting him to commit self harm. It fails, and shortly after, he was blocked by the victim for good. In addition to sexually harassing and attempting to manipulate the victim, he had also apparently exposed her to the signals not safe for world at some point during the period of time when they were in contact, much like he did with Commander before. Along with that, as stated by Jay-Z himself in one of the screenshots, he claimed to have supposedly watched his sisters and her friends engaging in sexual activities, and even claiming to have liked it. JC was making borderline incestuous comments. I'm sorry about that, but I gotta yell. Fortunately, this is not true, as confirmed by the original creator of the video in the comments. But regardless, those are some extremely disgusting things to say about your own sister. Speaking of which, I observed that GC really has this tendency to throw his own family under the bus. As mentioned before, GC contacted the victim on an alt account which had the username of William Cyril. Would you believe it if I told you that the username he used was actually the name of his younger brother? So disgusting. And downright irresponsible, because not only is he ruining his own reputation, but JC has the nerve to include his own family by doing this. He has no semblance of shame regarding these things whatsoever. In the original video, there were a few comments out from people who were supposedly in real life friends of JC, and this is what they had to say about him. We'll be getting to it just now. Hello, guys. I am JC's in real life friend from grade 7, my previous grade. I am absolutely disgusted by that. I do not make any problem with it's actually typed like that. I am absolutely disgusted by this, and I'm glad I avoided him from being a weirdo in real life. Because my bro told me to avoid him. I actually regret joining his dumb circle of friends, making my reputation bad in school. I was actually being nice to them, and JC revealed all of his social media accounts around me until I was absolutely disgusted. I can judge him by the looks of his face. He is a weirdo, that's all. Also, JC is actually 14, confirmed by me. Also, he's in grade 8, but now why would he sexualize a 13-year-old girl from Discord? Is he greedy for sex? Like, bro, I am disappointed that I shouldn't have interacted with him. This is from a pinned comment. I will be reading a few more comments, but to summarize it, everybody is saying how bad and how disgusted these people are. But I'll be reading one more. Hi there, I'm JC, real life friend. We have been talking to each other for our entire life growing up, and I am disgusted to see what he's doing. Recently, he turned away from me and my best friend, which he was best friend with too in real life. I'm not saying you should hate him, but here to confront and tell his entire family about. I'm super glad for you uploading this video. Super thanks to you for sharing this to the public. I will update you guys with any further things. JC caught wind of this video. Because of this, JC did something that was mental to try and save what was left of his reputation. There was a person called SE Studio, who JC was friends with. And what was he trying to do, I guess, was trying to get to the bottom of the entire situation after JC got exposed? I'm not sure. He uploaded a short to his YouTube channel titled Proof that JC Studio didn't harass 13-year-old girl. This video, though, is extremely hard to follow and understand due to both people typing in some extremely terrible English. So, I'll summarize in a human language. Basically, JC is pretending that his account was hacked by someone called Jack. How he got this name, I'm not sure. And this Jack person was actually the one who was harassing the 13-year-old victim, and not the real JC. Somehow, SC genuinely believed that this was the case, as evidenced by him unironically uploading this exchange between him and JC and thinking this was real evidence that JC was not guilty of anything. As he also replied to the comments left by the people expressing disgust toward JC's action in the original exposed video, and mind you, he replied to every single one of them only and only saying, bro, his account was hacked. This sort of defense that JC is trying to pull, trying to convince people that it was not him, it was a hacker who was a wreck. Seeing the victim, it's very easy to debunk because, first off, no 18-year-old hacker or something like that would do such a thing. He would have way bigger fish to fry. So, really, trying to have a one on one imitation on, to say the least, of a, I don't know, 14-year-old dude is kind of hard because you have to spend time. Unless you really hate this person and actually study him, or unless you're the CIA, then this would not be the case. Like, for Christ's sake, we're talking about hackers over here. They have bigger fish to fry, not to harass 13-year-old girls. There's some speculation regarding the identity of SE Studio person. Some believe this is another alt account owned by JC, which is very likely possible, actually, as they share a lot of things in common. But more proof will be needed. From there, there's a couple of less serious things that JC has done that I would still like to talk about before moving on to the last part. In August of 2024, which I presume this is shortly before he had the incident with the 13-year-old girl, he had been glorifying the Third Reich. It's based on the screenshot here, alright? It's worth noting that he was making a different person uncomfortable by this because there are still some people who don't like the Third Reich. On December of 2024, another incident involving JC occurred. According to this screenshot of a modlock, it implies that JC had somehow been able to dox another user's full legal name. There's a lot of missing context regarding the circumstances of why JC tried to do this. But the fact that he was willing to stoop this low of a blow, most likely for no good reason either, tells us that he is a person with a distinct lack of morality. So, that was the end of JC's misconduct for the year of 2024. There's still some stuff that he did from 2025 that we have to go over, obviously. Sometime during late 2025, around in September, a few users from the StickNodes user found out about what JC did during the previous year. And obviously, this warranted a confrontation between JC. And this basically instigated some really harsh witch hunting, as these users were relentless in the desire to confront JC about the allegations, obviously. So they went on every possible server they could find him and tried to make him apologize. And mostly admit to his actions and finally accept it. However, JC JC made a community post where he apologized. But then, when you think about it, wait, he's saying in his apology video, yeah, guys, I'm sorry that I was sexually harassing a girl. Anyway, what dead rail weapons are good? The audacity and stupidity of this man. Anyway, he later took down these apologies from his channel, and not even days after uploading them, to the amount of backlash he got from some StickNodes users who were commenting on them, calling him out on other things that he did, such as doxing someone or him glorifying the Third Reich, as well as sending S and StickNodes not safe for worlds for minors. A few months after that, JC decided to completely give up and hide his tracks and go straight to Roblox development. He completely erased StickNodes. He wiped everything. You really cannot find anything related to the animation community on his channel anymore, as mentioned in the intro of this video you're watching. JC instead decided to devote all his efforts to being a developer and a builder in Roblox, working on an SCP game, all to try and escape his past. Because of this, he still retains a large following on his channel despite doing some incredibly messed up stuff, which I find rather unfortunate because his audience has zero clue about what kind of person they're subscribed to. Also, he has been apparently inviting other Roblox creators to his Discord server, and he is also partnering with servers owned by them on occasion. Now, this takes us to my point for making this video. This video was made to warn you about JC. He is most likely still not a changed person, and he could still be capable of still doing the same thing that he did to the 13-year-old girl that he victimized. He's capable of still doxing others like he did to the user, the Winter Wall. Don't interact with JC, just don't risk it. Alright? Subscribe to his channel from you have to, leave his Discord server if you have to, cut ties with him if you have to. The only thing I don't advise the people watching this to do is to witch hunt him, because there's a line between spreading the word and harassing someone no matter how much you feel that that person deserves it. Now, JC, if you're watching this video, here's some advice that I think you should take. Get the hell off social media. It is not something that is good for you at all. Your reputation is worse than Sylvester Stallone. You've destroyed your reputation of your own doing, and no one trusts you to have changed after everything, obviously. Your name is synonymous with a person who manipulates, doxes, and molests. People remember what you did no matter how much you try to cover your tracks. Just quit social media, dog. That's just my advice, alright? That's our advice to say the least. Anyway, that should be it for this video. If any further developments pop up regarding this person, we'll be back. Alright, we'll be back. And also, my advice is to stay safe out there on the internet from people like him, alright? If something bad like this happens, always reach out to someone you trust, alright? This is Taco. Bye bye.